All right, returning to one of our top stories from Uttar Pradesh, and there'll be a grand swearing-in ceremony for Yogi Adityanath as he takes over as Chief Minister for a second term. The Prime Minister is going to be the chief guest, and all the top leaders will be there, former and present BJP Chief Ministers and Bollywood as well. Let's go across to Alok Pandey now for more. And Alok, tell us what's been happening since the morning, and there's going to be a huge, it'll be a very grand swearing-in ceremony. There's a huge list of people who will be attending.
Well, you're absolutely right, Gargi. So I'm outside 5 Kalidas Marg, which is the residence of the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister. And, there are 2 or 3 things that are scheduled, that may be scheduled, may not be scheduled. So BJP is being very cagey about the events leading up to that actual swearing-in. So we were told that after 10 a.m., those MLAs who are being made ministers could be called in here for an informal tea session or a tea meeting, a meeting over tea with the UP Chief Minister, Mr. Adityanath. But as of now, we are outside 5 Kalidas Marg and we do not know if that meeting is going to happen in a bit or not. There's no official information on it. I think the other point of interest that remains in this entire swearing-in, apart from the grand scale of it, of course, is who will be the Deputy Chief Ministers of Uttar Pradesh. Will there be Deputy Chief Ministers? So close to the swearing-in, we still don't have that clarity, because in the 2017, when Adityanath was made the Chief Minister, I remember that the BJP had announced the names of the 2 Deputy Chief Ministers too. This time around, that has not happened. One of the Deputy Chief Ministers, Keshav Maurya, of course, lost his election. The other, Dinesh Sharma, he did not contest the MLA election. So there is a bit of suspense about whether these 2 are going to be retained as Deputy Chief Ministers or whether a new set of people are going to come in. One of them, Mr. Maurya, is an OBC. Dinesh Sharma is a Brahmin. Yogi Adityanath, of course, comes from the Thakur community. So caste balancing is very important for the party. The other interesting thing to look at is how many ministers will be sworn in. Now we are told that it could be 30, 40 ministers, and many of them, at least 15 or 16 of them, could be cabinet ministers. There are young faces that could be inducted into the cabinet, and of course some of the more experienced or better performing ministers from the last cabinet will also get a berth in this cabinet too. So all of these events leading up to that swearing in at the Atal Bihari Vajpayee Stadium at 4 p.m, where, as you pointed out, a galaxy of people, starting from the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, to the Home Minister, to other top politicians, BJP Chief Ministers, many industrialists, film stars, we are told, they're all going to attend. So it's going to be a grand scale that the BJP is implementing this time around for Yogi 2.0, his fresh government, to take charge.
All right, Alok, thanks so much for joining us with that, and we'll return to you through the day as we count down to that swearing-in ceremony for Yogi Adityanath 2.0.